think these men realize the kind of fuck around find out legal precedent they're advocating for when they say dumb shit like this. What he's saying is that if a man causes a pregnancy to happen, which is how pregnancies happen, but that man doesn't want that pregnancy to result in a child, but the pregnant woman insists on having the child anyway, then the man who, again, caused that pregnancy to happen but doesn't want the child should be able to walk away from any obligations towards child support. And whenever men say this to me, which they do often because I talk about women's reproductive rights often and men are predictable, I always think, do you realize that you are advocating for a legal scenario where either of the people who contribute to conceiving a child, because it does take two to tango, as men like to remind me, either of those people are allowed legally to walk away from their financial responsibility to that child. Which means the women that these men impregnate will also be allowed to walk away from their financial responsibility to that child. And in that world and that legal scenario, your fuck around find out moment is going to be when women who were forced to carry a child that they didn't want to leave those children at night on the doorsteps of those children's fathers with no return address and no contact number. Because if a man can walk away from a child that, again, he conceived but didn't want, then so can a woman. And if she still has your home address, then congratulations, you are now a single father. And to the men who are going to run into my comments and say that they should be allowed to exercise their reproductive autonomy by having the choice in whether a person they impregnated keeps or ends the pregnancy, I say that your reproductive autonomy is exercised at the point where you take your pants down and decide to put part of your body inside somebody else's body without protection. So you think she should have closed her legs if she wanted control over the outcome, but you should have zipped up your fly. But since you didn't, and since you all insist that it takes two to tango, then the two of you are going to have to pay for that child.